I'm ready when you are.
Ready?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Juliet Almeida. I want you to know this is much harder than actually doing the cake for this collaboration. I can't breathe!
Hey everybody, Susan Trianos from Learn to Cake, and today we are celebrating the uber-talented Colette Peters by recreating one page out of her fabulous 50-page coloring book.
Don't forget to join us next week where I have a one-on-one with Colette Peters where we talk about the sweet and the sour and the cake medium that she couldn't stand. I bet you can't guess. Remember to join us to hit that share button so that we can spread love like buttercream.
Colette?
Yes.
I saw your coloring book back there.
Yes.
Your cakes are super intricate.
Yes, they are.
And you kinda might have a collaboration coming up, I heard, through the grapevine.
Yes, we're thinking of doing one
Mm-hmm.
based on the coloring book.
Okay. Confess.
What?
Your cakes in
Yes.
the coloring book, did you always intend them to come to life?
Good question. I didn't. But then when I started thinking about it, I thought, duh. You know, this is how I work. I do sketches, then I do the real thing.
That's true.
So, hello. And actually, I meant for this book to be inspirational, too. Not just a coloring book, but you know, to inspire people to do different ideas for cakes.
Oh, I
you know.
see. Kind of like a resource. Like when you're stuck, you kind of look
Yeah.
like a Pinterest in print.
Sort of, yeah.
I met Colette about 8 or 9 years ago at a party in New York, but was too intimidated to actually talk to her. Intimidated because she's so inspiring. She doesn't follow trends. She has no fear. She does whatever comes from the heart and in turn ends up creating new trends, and that is a sign of a true artist. I don't do a lot of collaborations. This one I felt the need to do to celebrate this amazing career that Colette has created. My hope is that we are enjoying her sense of art and design for many, many years to come. Colette, congratulations, and thanks for being such an inspiration.
The Twisted Treats Cake Collaboration for Colette Peters Coloring Book is amazing in so many ways. One of my first inspirations when I started making fantasy style cakes, and her whimsical, fun feel is what I aim to use in my own cakes.
About 22 years ago, I started making cakes, and there was not a whole lot on the internet. It was kind of a new thing. There was definitely no YouTube. And so I did the old school thing, and I went to the library. And that was the first time I ever saw a Colette Peters book. And I was so out of my mind excited because I could see that cake was being elevated to art. And it gave me permission to use color and shape and not have to be boring and try to think outside the lines. And I love that book so much. I think I kept it for 4 or 5 months and racked up a ton of library finds, but it was so totally worth it. And I'm just excited to be a part of this collaboration because Colette Peters was my first cake hero.
First time I met Colette Peters was at the annual day of sharing for the Capital Confectioners Club in Austin, Texas. And let me tell you, I was so impressed with this woman. She's such a sweet lady, and her dedication to her craft is just incredible, and her passion for teaching is unparalleled. So really excited to be a part of this collaboration to help celebrate Miss Colette.
I was so honored to be invited to join this collaboration, which celebrates one of the industry's most iconic cake decorators. Colette has actually been a big influence on my work since I first started over a decade ago. I absolutely love her use of bold colors as well as interesting textures and whimsical details. The first book I ever purchased is actually this one here, Cakes to Dream On. As you can see from the cover cake, her designs are always unique and innovative. As soon as I flipped through that book, I fell in love with cake decorating, and it just took off from there.
I met Colette 9 or 10 years ago at my very first cake competition and my first cake show in Connecticut. I had the privilege of taking my very first class with Colette, and it was at a time where I was really trying to figure out what my style was. I had just left corporate America. I was a designer, so I was already into digital art. I was a scrapbooker and a crafter and had been decorating since I was 6. And I just, Colette's style spoke to me. And she made me feel like it was okay to, have a passion for different medias and to bring them all together and really create unique works of art. And I am just so thankful to be able to call her a friend.
Are you ready for a sugar high heel? This piece was so much fun to do. You know my love of sugar heels. And also, it kind of marries with my sick need for candy. You've seen me at the airport buying sugar before I hop on. And the hardest part about this whole collaboration, or this piece in particular, was the fact that this piece actually was supposed to have chocolate in it. It was supposed to.
Is a tribute to the first day that I met Colette. It is made completely out of isomelt, and the tray is topsy-turvy. My board is covered with fondant and lace pieces with isomelt buttons to resemble vintage table runners that Colette makes and the vintage buttons that she collects.
This is my lollipop showpiece. So much fun working on this piece, completely made out of isomalt. I just love Colette Peters' work. She has such a fun way, an amazing way of putting together all these colors and textures and shapes together. Thank you, Colette, for being a trendsetter and for leading the way.
It is an absolute honor to be part of the Twisted Treats collaboration. I have admired Colette Peters' work and creativity for years. I had the chance to meet her last year, and she was so much sweeter than I could have ever imagined. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of the collaboration, and I look forward to seeing all of the pages of your book come to life.
I think I first saw Colette on a talk show, and up until that moment, cake was, my grandmother's Better Homes and Gardens book. And it wasn't until I saw Colette's cakes with fondant, twisty, turvy, topsy-turvy. Oh my goodness, and I realized that cake could be a medium. And it wasn't without you, Colette, that I wouldn't have realized that art may be my thrill, but cake is my medium. Thank you, Colette. This one's for you.
Clutch your pearls, girls. This giant cookie wreath is an ode to Colette Peters' design job at Tiffany & Company here in New York City. Did you know she used to work there?
I met Colette several years ago when I ended up at the Wilton School just outside of Chicago, and someone told me to sign up for her class that she was a serious cake decorator. What I realized after being in class about 20 minutes was that Colette was not serious at all. I had a great time that week, and I learned all sorts of interesting techniques. She literally pulled out everything, including the kitchen sink. We used wafer paper and metallic paints and things I had never thought of using before. So I find her really inspirational because she taught me how to think outside of the box and how to decorate cakes with dimension and color. And so I will always appreciate you for that, Colette. Thanks.
Been a huge fan of Colette Peters' work for years and years. I love the bright colors she uses, the intricate details in her cakes. I love how happy and fun they are. And so when I was asked to be part of this group that would bring the pages of her Twisted Treats coloring book to life, I felt so honored and so thrilled at the opportunity to get to make a tribute to Colette Peters.
I'm part of the Twisted Treats collaboration, and here is Peace, Wisdom, and Power. When Colette assigned me a page from her fantasy book, I envisioned a Native American theme. By taking and using many components from Colette's page, I sketched a basic design for color and layout. I began by twisting everything together. I made all the design patterns and the twisted vines using a 50-50 mix of gun paste and fondant. I hand-painted all the patterns and filled in the gaps with black royal icing to add texture. Instead of ribbons and bows, I added feathers with a Native American pattern made from wafer paper. I hand-rolled all the marble-sized colorful beads out of pulled sugar. Peace, wisdom, and power. I love this collaboration. Thank you, Colette.
Hey cakers, bakers, and sweet treat makers, that was our version of the Twisted Treats Cake Collaboration. Get your twist on and let's all get twisted. Get inspired and conspire to make this world a little bit sweeter with each slice of cake. Talk about spreading love like buttercream. Colette Peters, we love you, we adore you, and thank you so much for making caking fun. Thank you for inspiring us all.
You know what I love about Cakers Chat? The interviews are fabulous. So I want you all to see this. Go to YouTube and check out Cakers Chat. It's really good.
page 5 from the Colette Peters Twisted Treats coloring book, where it's basically a teacup and stacked donuts. I used some creative inspiration and added my sexy hot coffee hot tub chick to the mix. She's been created out of modeling chocolate. Normally I use fondant with tylers added to it for my figures. This one I went with modeling chocolate. Her donut hair is created with fondant. The donuts are coated with royal icing and sprinkles, because I love sprinkles. The teacup is cake or would be cake, covered in fondant, the plate and the handle in gum paste. The hot coffee and bubbles in the teacup have been coated with confectioner's glaze, losing my donuts. Confectioner's glaze to make them shiny, and I added some gold dragees just for a little extra sparkle. Trimmed the coffee cup with gold highlighter and painted her face with petal dust using vodka to paint it on. Lots of fun, Colette. I hope you like her, and thanks for including me in this collab.
I had so much fun working on this piece. I really wanted to stay true to Colette's style, you know, her use of color, her use of texture, her use of patterns. So creating a really bold, fun color palette was important to me. And once I figured that out, I was able to sit down and just graphically illustrate the different color patterns that I wanted for my petals and some of my other elements. I wanted to stay very organic. Texture was important to me, so the texture here on my concrete, and then I wanted to really create a sense of organicness with the stems. I didn't want anything super smooth. I wanted it to look, you know, kind of whimsy and very, you know, like it came out of a coloring book. And then the classic tilt with the cupcakes, you know, which is definitely Colette Peters. So this was a lot of fun to make. It was definitely a challenge to figure out, you know, the different edible mediums, like how do I make this all edible? How do I make a cupcake wrapper stand up? But I think it works. I really love it. I hope that Colette loves it. And I've enjoyed being part of this collaboration. And thank you to the organizers for all of your hard work. As an artist, it is much appreciated. So thank you.
I was invited to lunch by Peggy Tucker to Tavern on the Green, and she said Colette would be there. A dream come true, because I've admired her work forever. I don't think I said more than 3 words that day. I was so nervous to be at a table with so much passion and love for cake decorating and knowledge that I really think I just stood there smiling most of the day. But Colette gave me a big bear hug, called me her little buddy, and we've had a friendship ever since. This is very hard.
Oh, quick tip for you guys. You know, it's very easy to make the ruffles with isomalt. So remember those crimpers that you have, that you use with fondant? Guess what? You can use them with isomalt too. I use them to give some texture on some of the layers and also on these ruffles. So get them out, start playing with them, and crinkle away.
So is this all you? You're great. You're good at this.
Thank you.
You know?
I appreciate you.
You are. Believe me, I've been interviewed a lot. You know, and people who don't know what they're talking about. It's true. I'm not kidding.